Hello, all, and welcome back to Rise and Inspire LA with your girl, Naraya Ahava, and I hope you all are doing fabulously today. So, in today's video, we are going to tackle an important topic: how to stop negative thinking and cultivate a more positive mindset. Okay, now, negative thinking can have such a significant huge impact on our mental and our emotional health, but with the right tools, we can definitely overcome it. So I have 7 tools today that I think can help us all, because myself is included in this, on how to just have an overall more positive mindset and cut out the negative thinking, right? The first tool I would suggest is to become aware of your thoughts, and it's kind of like when a negative thought arises, observe your patterns and your triggers behind them, because it's usually an event that preceded you having this negative thought or this negative trail of thoughts. So it's like, become aware of what you're thinking. Don't just let it kind of pass by or slip through the cracks, because sometimes we can get so used to having negative thoughts that we almost don't recognize it. It almost becomes normal. So we have to be more aware and intentional with what's going on in our minds, or what are we thinking on the day to day? What are we feeding our brain on the day to day? And so that if you are in sort of like a negative thought pattern, a negative thought cycle, you can become aware of it, and so that you can break the negativity. And then once you become aware of your thoughts, challenge yourself and ask yourself, is this thought based on facts or assumptions? Because often our negative thoughts are distorted, they're exaggerated. And a lot of times we put ourselves through unnecessary suffering, because a lot of times we'll have negative thoughts or like anxiety provoking thoughts because we're so busy thinking about the future that we're not in the present moment. We could be worried about something that's going to happen tomorrow or next week that may or may not even happen, but we're going to be suffering multiple times because we're thinking about it before it even happens, and it may not happen. You see how it becomes a whole vicious cycle? So that's important. Once you catch the thoughts, once you're aware of them, ask yourself, is this a factual thought, or is this an assumption? Is this me jumping to conclusions? Is this me doing the most when I need to just be in the moment and just be more positive? Become aware of that, right? The second thing I would suggest is engage in some type of physical activity. It's a great way to combat negativity. It releases endorphins. It gets your body feeling good, which in turn can also make your emotional state feel good and lifted and all of that good stuff. So it could be something as basic as going for a walk, going for a bike ride, doing some jumping jacks, or, something as calming as maybe even yoga. If you're comfortable going to the gym, for 20, 30 minutes, being around other people. And sometimes that's another thing, is sometimes when we're isolated, that can also maybe help us to feed negative thoughts, because we don't have anyone to reel us back in. So sometimes being around other people can also help. But definitely physical activities gets those positive, good feeling chemicals moving in our body. And that can help rid us and help us fight off negative thoughts as well. And thirdly, sort of connected to part 2, is mindfulness. That can be just being fully present. You can do that through yoga. You can do that through meditation, and just observing your thoughts without judgment. That's something that myself, I'm still working on. I've gotten much better, but sometimes we can judge ourselves for what we're feeling and what we're thinking, when what we really need to be doing is just become aware of it. And if it is something negative, then okay, figure out what we can do about the solution. And again, reverting back to point 1, ask ourselves, okay, is this a fact or is this an assumption that I'm making? And my mind is just literally running away with me. Don't judge yourself for thinking what you're thinking, become aware of it and help to break those patterns. And I know for meditation, it can be difficult for a lot of people if they're not used to it, if you don't regularly meditate. So what I would suggest is try a guided meditation, because it can be hard, when you're not used to doing it, it can be very hard to still and quiet your mind. So try a guided meditation. Good old YouTube University is full of them. So find one that you like, that just kind of resonates with you, and just take 5 to 10 minutes before you kind of start your day and just kind of sit and listen to the guided meditation. You can do it with your eyes open, your eyes closed. You can do it where you're focusing on a specific focal point for the duration of it, and kind of start with that. And then maybe eventually you'll get to a point where you'll want to just do one in silence. But I think a guided meditation would be a great way. And also yoga for people that maybe can't do a whole lot of physical activity. Yoga still kind of gets the blood flowing and gets you moving around. So that could also be a good way to kind of help you get more into a positivity mindset. And Fourthly, I would suggest try to engage in creative activities. We all have some type of talent or something in the creative space that we can do. You can paint, you can draw, you can write, you can sing, you can dance, just kind of anything to kind of get you moving around as well. And it can kind of help you channel your emotions and kind of shift your focus onto something that's productive and that's positive and, that's fun, and it can also kind of get the blood flowing, just kind of get you feeling more confident and just more free. That can also help you to fight off and ward off negative thought patterns or negative mental loops that you might be putting yourself through. And number 5, I would say seek support from others. Sometimes we try to go it alone. I've been very guilty of that in the past, that sometimes I would just go inward when I was dealing with certain things. And that's not always a good thing, because you can wallow, you can just go further and further down the rabbit hole when it's not even that deep. So you have to have a source of support. You have to have someone in your life, a close friend or a family member that you can call and share your thoughts with and kind of get these things out of you. Along with journaling. Journaling can also be a good way to kind of get your thoughts out of yourself, out of your mind and onto paper. But talking to someone that you trust about your concerns, someone that you know loves you and cares for you and wants you to win and wants you to be in a great space. You should have someone that you can kind of confide in when you really get to those moments where you just need someone to talk to. And they can also give you a fresh perspective on the situation. Because that's happened with me many a time. Someone can point out something, because it's kind of easier when you're looking at a situation from the outside to be a little more objective. So you can have that person just kind of offer you a fresh perspective along with emotional support to help you kind of break free from the loop of whatever it is that you're going through with your negative thoughts and kind of help you kind of work your way out of it, right? The 6th tool I would suggest is just cultivating gratitude. Sometimes we can get so caught up with just the negative or what we don't have right now or what's going wrong or what's going bad or what's going left, that it's important and it's so powerful to just take a few moments every day to just reflect on the things that you are grateful for. It could be something as basic as, I'm grateful that I woke up this morning. I'm grateful that I have a place to lay my head at night. I'm grateful that I have clothes to wear. I'm grateful that I was able to eat meals today, because there's someone out there that doesn't have that. The things that you pray for and you wish that you have, someone is out there that would die to have your life and to have what you have right now, even just the basics. So that can be a very powerful way to work your way out of a negative mindset or negative thinking. Just think about everything you have in your life that you are thankful for and grateful for. And you can just say those things aloud. Every night you can have a gratitude journal. I have done that in the past, where I have like a journal with an attitude of gratitude, where you list maybe 3 things every day that you're grateful for. It can be just in general. It could be something that you're grateful for that happened that particular day, but that can kind of help you get out of a negative mindset and a negative flow and help you get more to a positive place. And lastly, I would suggest just prioritize your self-care. You have to take care of your whole self. That means your physical, your emotional, your mental, your spiritual, your well-being. Get enough sleep. Eat the right foods. Personally, I'm currently on a journey to kind of change up my diet. I'm trying to wean certain things out of my diet, and I'm already noticing such an increase in just how I feel on the day-to-day by removing certain things out of my diet. So eat nourishing foods, engage in activities that you enjoy, that make you almost feel like a kid again, and this make you want to laugh and smile and that you can just have fun with. And practice some self-compassion. Sometimes we can be so hard on ourselves. For me personally, I noticed that I'll have such leniency and empathy with others, but there were times that I was so hard on myself or judging myself, or how we sometimes may judge our thoughts. And you have to have compassion for yourself, because we are human. We are all trying to do our best on this journey and this road called life, and we're going to make mistakes. We're going to have challenging things that happen. But just take them with grace. Give yourself grace and understanding and compassion, just like you would do to someone that you love, someone else that you loved outside of yourself. And just that can help you create an environment of just positivity and a positive mindset. And remember that negative thinking or stopping negative thinking, it's a process, because for many of us, it's just kind of been a lifelong thing that we've maybe done for years, because for some reason, it's just so much easier to focus on the negative than on the positive at times. So you have to be patient with yourself, because it is a process, but By becoming aware of your thoughts, challenging them, engaging in physical activity is going to get all your endorphins flowing. Practicing mindfulness activities, expressing yourself in a creative manner, seeking support, cultivating gratitude, and prioritizing self-care, you can definitely break free from negativity and create a more positive and fulfilling life. Okay, I hope this message was helpful. If you like this type of content, do me a solid and hit that subscribe button as well as the bell notification so that you'll be notified every time a new video goes up. And if you think this type of content might be helpful to a friend or a family member, please feel free to share it. And in the meantime, stay happy, stay blessed, and I will see you next time.